Most people hate it, most people suck at it, and most people spend way too much time on it. Really, on my very first video that I posted on this YouTube channel, I spent 20 plus hours on the research, and then I edited for my second draft, and then I did even more research because I really wanted to have the perfect script, but I made a lot of mistakes along the way. Right now, I've refined the process. Now I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about research so you'll know how to research the right way in less time. I'm going to teach you my full research framework that allows me to write viral bangers over and over again. So we first have to understand, why does good research make such a big impact? Because research is the foundation of the video. And most people like me make these following research mistakes. They either spend too much time on research, they don't know when to stop research, so they keep going on and on and on with research, and the research takes an infinite amount of time for them, in which case they don't actually publish their video, or they research poorly. The research is not thorough enough, the research is not done proper. And in order to stop making these following mistakes, you have to understand research at a deeper level, which is exactly what we're going to talk about. Research is made up of these 4 parts, and I'm going to go over how to actually understand these 4 parts and how to execute them in your research for your next video. And then I'm also going to demonstrate how I do it and put it together in a doc, do it in real time for you for a video on YouTube. So first is audience understanding, and then it's competitor analysis, and then you want to gather the content of the video, and then you want to validate. So audience understanding is know what they need, want, and care about. Competitor analysis is spotting trends, gaps, and winning strategies in your niche. Gathering content is actually what you're going to talk about in the video, right? So you want to collect facts, examples, and unique insights that add value. And then you want to validate, which is to double check any information that you have for accuracy and relevance. We need to research each part as deeply as possible. So I'm going to cover the easiest strategies you can follow to cover all of these points and make sure that you have the most in-depth research that you can have. So we're going to talk about how to find the perfect video length, how to find and talk about the right points, and then we're going to talk about how to stand out from the crowd with your research. Because really, your research, if you're writing documentary scripts, educational scripts, is one of the ways to stand out from the crowd, just having more deep researched videos that are just better than your competitors. And then we're going to talk about how to study the right videos by figuring out which videos are worth studying and how to implement research properly. Because really, any mistake within research can make your video tank. So for example, if you use the wrong video length, a video that could have been 8 minutes, you script it as 25 minutes, that means that the video just won't perform well. There's a lot of fluff. Or a video that you scripted to be 8 minutes that should be instead 25 minutes, means that you're missing a ton of information that you could have added. And when you add that information, you could have had longer watch time. So let's figure out the video length. The wrong length can lose viewers. Too short equals you're missing details. Too long equals viewers click away, both of which you don't want to happen. So let's look at an example, right? Same niche, same topic, right? How to learn any language without studying. This video is too long, right? And then there's just shorts, right? Which is obviously too short. But if you have the right video length, here you can see 12 minutes long. Can you learn a language without studying? Same topic, but this one got outsized returns at 502K views. Same with this, right? How to learn your dream language without studying, right? Just nice length, 12 minutes, right? Same niche and same topic. Doesn't mean that, same niche and same topic all the time. It has to be this exact same length, but this is more just kind of a guidance. So you kind of have an idea of, hey, when I'm doing research, how long should my video be, rather than just shooting and guessing and just scripting out fully or not scripting it out enough. So how to find the perfect video length? You want to align the length with your video format. If it's short, right, if it's quick tips or skits, right, then the video will be 2 to 5 minutes long. If it's medium length, 6 to 12 minutes, that's usually for tutorials or reviews or kind of like how-tos. And then long is if you feel like, hey, within the niche, right, deep dives, case studies are performing really well, longer videos are performing really well, then I'm gonna make slightly longer videos. So let's get a little bit more tactical. This is kind of high level thinking. Okay, we want to align the length with the specific format of the video, because the longer the video, the more info and value you need to add. So for example, a short video, you'll have quick tips, comparisons, and you won't really have any detailed instructions because you don't have the capacity to go super in depth in a short video. Whereas in a long video in the same topic, right, how to improve your pull-up strength quickly and easily, you go more in depth. You have 5 to 6 main payoffs, main points that you want to talk about, and you have detailed instructions on how to actually implement it. And then you have a medium length video with more to the point tips, has 3 to 5 main points, detailed instructions, but still fast enough to only include the most important parts. So it's really more concise, right? Really, the difference in the video length is how much information you can put in and how much in depth. But just because you have a longer video length doesn't mean that you can have fluff, and doesn't mean that you can add useless information that's not useful to the viewer, right? We want to make sure that every single piece of information that you give the viewer is useful, is actionable, and can actually add value to them. So for example, in the case of this video that you're watching, this is a much longer video than the video videos that I usually post, right? This will be a full-length course where we break down a specific skill, aka YouTube script writing. But the caveat is, right, you'll see a lot of courses out there that are 6 hours long, 11 hours long, 12 hours long, 20 hours long. And the problem with those courses is that the average view duration of those courses would likely still be 6-7 minutes. The perceived length of it might be super long, but those videos might just not perform well because the content isn't super valuable. What you don't really see behind the scenes when I'm creating a course like this that's full, super in-depth, is that actually I create a bunch of content and I have to delete them because after a while, I realized after watching the recording that, hey, this content isn't super valuable to the audience, right? I can't just be making a video to be super long for the sake of it being super long. I want it to be super long, but the value per minute, the amount of value that I inject into the video is so high and the video is so valuable that it's impossible for the viewer to not want to watch from start to finish in one sitting. So for example, if this video ends up being 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours long, I want to make sure that, hey, the content is actually valuable enough that the viewer wants to watch from start to finish in one sitting, not just, watch in one chunk and then, hey, we hit a point in the course where it's actually not super useful. No one really cares. The information is very subpar. I'm just using it to increase the video length. That doesn't work. So when you think about the video length, every single piece of information that you give is super crucial. So let's talk about this, right? But what about this topic? Same niche plus topic, right? 10 years of muscle building advice in 23 minutes, right? This one performed really well, 1.4 million views. How I built muscle fast, right? 9 minutes. Does that mean that, like super long and medium length videos are good? How do we kind of diagnose like what kind of video length we should have? Well, really, when you're thinking about, hey, should I make a video of this length or make a video of that length? And we're breaking down the videos in the niche that have performed really well. We want to think about what are the reasons that it would have performed well. In this case, the actual points in both videos are informative and actionable, right? Regardless of its length, right? Which is why we need to know how to pick the right points we cover in our video. The points that we pick in the video and what we actually talk about is equally important as the length of the video, as I previously discussed, right? Making a super long course will cut a lot of information to make sure that it's actually the most valuable thing that you can be watching with